Hello. I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people find very obnoxious: vegetarianism. I have been a vegetarian since I was 12, which is going on 8 years now, and I think I have a perspective on this that a lot of people don't expect coming from a vegetarian. Having spent almost all of my teen years telling people and having to change a lot of dinners around my needs, I think I've heard about every single side of the argument for or against vegetarianism, and I happen to agree that most of us are obnoxious and stuck up and act very holier than thou, which I'm personally very against. I'm not a vegetarian because of animal cruelty or any environmental reasons. It's just meat would upset my stomach if I ate it now, and I don't find it particularly appealing. That being said, I'd like to bring up a few arguments which I've heard people against meat use, which are straight up wrong or very misleading. The first of which we all know very well. Eating meat is cruel because cows are all treated terribly, and if you eat meat, you're supporting animal cruelty. This is not fair for a number of reasons, but it's such a common thing that I feel like we should address it. First of all, we have been eating meat for as long as we've been a species. While ancient vegetarianism is an interesting topic, it's not all that common. And while there have been instances of animal cruelty, of course, and especially prevalent in big factories, the actual likelihood that you are responsible for some cow being treated horribly because you like to eat steak isn't really a valid argument. First of all, there are lots of small family farms which treat their animals great. While maybe the biggest meat producers don't necessarily give their cows a great quality of life, a lot of animals are given freedom to roam and good food and real veterinary care. I've been in the South, the rural South, for almost all of my life, and you see cows everywhere. They don't look like they're being abused, because they're not. If you want to eat meat ethically, a very, very good way to ensure the fact that your meat isn't coming from somewhere that you might frown upon is to support your local businesses, those farmers who grow their own cows and know all their animal husbandry. The other issue with this argument is that a lot of the people who try to push it on others don't exactly follow it to its natural conclusion. First of all, any person who's vegan or thinks that eating meat is unethical, period, can never own a cat. Cats and dogs are both called carnivores, but they're a little different biologically. For dogs, they're what we call facilitate carnivores. They eat meat because it's, by and large, easier for them to get their nutrients from animals, but they don't have to. A dog can live a completely vegetarian and, in some cases with extreme dietary knowledge, they can be fed completely healthily on a vegan diet. But cats aren't like that. Cats are what we call obligate carnivores. If they do not eat meat, they will die of malnutrition, live very unhappy lives. Every single time. There have been lots of people who try to make vegan cats or make vegan cat food, and it is always animal cruelty. If you're against eating meat, then you're also against having cats as pets, because cats require meat to be taken care of. Another interesting thing to note here is that vegans and vegetarians aren't necessarily off the unethical hook just because they don't eat meat. Things are a little bit more complicated these days. I've never known where the quinoa I ate was grown. I don't even know what part of the world it's grown in. This is innocuous enough because how are we supposed to? We all lead busy lives, and I don't know anyone who's really going to sit down and figure out, trace exactly where the food they are eating is coming from. It's not a realistic thing to ask because these days things come from all over the world. But that makes some problems arise with strictly vegan or vegetarian diets. Part of what I mean here is soy. Soy is a big staple in lots of vegetarian and vegan diets because it is completely plant-based, but gives us lots of protein. I know that I love drinking soy milk and don't really like milk, but soy has its own slew of environmental issues. While a lot of people don't know, plants like soy, which are a huge crop in South America, have negative environmental impacts. So I think at the end of the day, we should all just take our noses out of each other's business and respect everyone's diet, because no one really knows what's best for someone else, and you never know what you don't know. So please, stop trying to convince me that vegetarianism is good or bad, because it's a very complicated subject, and I absolutely think that everyone should do their own research or mellow out a little bit, because it's a very interesting topic. It does not have to be as bad as everyone makes it out to be, I swear. I had a lot of fun researching, vegetarianism, the millions of times I have over the last almost decade I've been one. So, it's a very complicated subject, and there's no right or wrong answer here. Bye.